Hello everyone, I am Shumana Ghosh. Today I am glad to present our paper, Proactive Feedback Control for Network CPS. This is a joint work done by me, Debayan Roy, Philip Keen from the Technical University of Munich, Germany, Arnav Mondal, Shomojit De from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, India, and Shamarji Chakraborty from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, USA. We generally know that CPS, that is cyber physical system, represents a coupling of physical plant with software based controller in an iterative feedback loop. The exchange of information, that is the sensed plant state, being communicated to the controller and the control command being provided to the actuator at discrete intervals often take place through a networking infrastructure. In such network CPS, the network timing and loss properties play a crucial role in determining the behavior of the physical system. In modern times, such network CPS have made a profound impact on various application domains. For example, automotive system, smart grid, robotics, and many more. In some of these application domains, implementing the CPS using a wireless control network infrastructure makes more sense due to the associated flexibility, possible redundancy, ease of maintenance, and deployment. However, such applications are often mission critical in nature and thus requiring high control performance in terms of faster stabilization and lower settling time. Now, what are the challenges in juicing out high control performance from a wireless CPS? High performance, that is faster stabilization or lower settling time, can be achieved by either lowering the sampling period of the plant or shortening the sense to actuation delay. However, large and varying sense to actuation delays may cause serious performance degradation of the underlying CPS. Therefore, higher control performance may not be preserved during its implementation over the network. Now, what is the cause of variable delay in the network? In wireless network, packets might collide with each other. In such cases, they need to be retransmitted, leading to variable and unpredictable path delays. Now, with the growing importance of wireless CPS, several techniques have studied to mitigate the effect of such varying delays. Some of these techniques emphasize designing a stable controller in the presence of varying delay without mitigating the corresponding performance degradation. Some other works have used Kalman filter or similar prediction tools to predict the system state using past state information and accordingly design the control input when packets are delayed. Another set of works have tried to address this issue from the network side by adding more resources, for example, high quality network alternative and redundant packet transmission, etc. In contrast, in this work, we present a generic strategy that can be used with any given network and controller specification to efficiently implement a controller that guarantees high performance in the presence of large delay variations. The only required input is the delay distribution of the network, which in our case happens to be a set of possible discrete delays of the network. Now, this figure shows the overall proposed scheme. In this figure, P1 and P2 represent two plant nodes. A plant node consists of physical system and its associated sensor and actuator. The nodes I1 to I7 are 7 intermediate nodes in the wireless network. C is the control node where controllers of these plants get executed remotely. X1K and X2K are the state valuation of plant 1 and plant 2 at gate sampling interval respectively. Now, on receiving the plant state information from the sensor, the respective controller computes a control input vector instead of a single control input. The control input vector consists of a set of future control inputs computed by predicting states based on the different possible sense to actuation delays. How these delays values are considered and corresponding states are predicted, we will discuss them step by step in subsequent slides. Next, the control input vector is sent by the control node in a single packet to the actuators. Now, on receiving the control input vector from the control node, the actuator selects the appropriate control input from this vector based on the sense to actuation delay experienced over the network. Then it applies it to the plant. Now the predictor operation. Prediction is done in two phases. First one, predicting actuation instance. Next, predicting states. Now, to predict actuation instance, we need two information. What is the actual delay that occurred at the forward path? That is from sensor to controller, and this is denoted as delta F. Next, what could be the delay at the return path? That is from controller to actuator. Note that till now we do not know what is the actual delay in the return path. Since the control node does this operation, so till now it has the information about the forward path only. Hence, based on a delay distribution of the network, we calculate an upper bound and a lower bound of the delay at the return path. Thus, we get the minimum delay and the maximum delay at the return path. Now, to predict actuation instance, let consider xk is the current sense state valuation at the kth sampling interval. Now, based on actual forward path delay and the minimum and maximum delays at the return path, we compute the earliest actuation instant and latest actuation instant using these two formulas. In these formulas, delta F is the forward path delay, tau C is the control computation time, and delta R is the delay at the return path. In this figure, we can see that the earliest actuation instant is k plus 2, which is obtained by adding the forward path delay of one sample and a minimum delay of one sample at the return path. Similarly, we get the latest actuation instant of k plus 4 by adding the forward path delay of one sample and the maximum delay of 3 samples at the return path. In the next phase, for each such predicted actuation instant, k dash within the range of earliest and latest actuation instance, plant states are predicted using two information. One, the last measured state valuation xk and all the intermediate control inputs from the earliest actuation instant up to the sampling instant immediately before k dash. Note that our proposed scheme will work in any network where the delays has few discrete number of possibilities. Now the controller operation. Once the state prediction is done for a predicted sampling interval k dash, the controller computes the control input uk dash. In our previous example, for k equal to 2, we have the earliest actuation instant as 4, which is 2 plus 1 plus 1, and the latest actuation instant as 2 plus 1 plus 3 equal to 6. Hence, the controller computes U4, U5, and U6 based on the state valuation x2. We represent the control input uk dash computed based on the state valuation xk as uk dash k. Thus, the control input vector capital UK is computed based on the state valuation xk and consists of several such values of future control inputs. Next, the actuator operation. On receiving the new control input vector, the actuator selects the most appropriate control input from that vector based on the actual delay experienced in the return path, and it actuates that control input to the plant. As you can see in this figure, U02 is applied at the second sampling interval since the actuation overall sense to actuation delay is 2 samples. Similarly, at the third sampling interval, U13 is applied. Note that control input is applied at each and every sample, and thus the actuator ensures zero delays in actuation and rejects the effect of variable delays as much as possible. To evaluate the behavior of our proposed technique in the real world, we developed a CPS testbed. It is a hardware-software co-designed testbed that provides a unique platform to implement, run, and also validate the proposed strategy for any network specification. For our experiment, we have considered 2 physical plants, which are 2 double integrated circuits, 7 battery-powered intermediate nodes, and a control node. During the experiments, nodes were distributed in a 6 meter by 6 meter room, ensuring at least 2 meter separation between any 2 nodes in the network. To illustrate the advantage of the proposed scheme, we conduct 3 different experiments over the testbed. The first one is to compare our scheme with standard control scheme, which are worst case delay based control scheme WC, fixed sampling fixed delay FSFD, and fixed sampling variable delay FSVD. The next experiment is to evaluate the performance of the proposed scheme under variation in the uncertainty model of the plant. The third experiment is to evaluate the performance of the proposed scheme under variation in the packet drop rate of the network. In all these experiments, we use settling time as the performance metric. The duration of each of these experiments is 15 seconds. Initially, the voltage output is set to 0 volt for both the plants. The control objective is to move the output voltage back to 3 volt reference value. Now this figure shows the output response of plant 1 under different control schemes. As it is evident from the response curve that with our scheme, the plant gets settled quickly, that is within 3.689 seconds as compared to other control strategies. The approximate improvement with respect to WC is 63%, with respect to FSFD, it is 26%, and with respect to FSVD, it is 49%. Next, this figure shows the impact of model uncertainties on plant 1. As you can observe in the figure, even with the 30% uncertainties, our proposed scheme provides a settling time of 6.375 seconds. It is also important to note that with the proposed scheme, we get much better performance than the settling times obtained under no model uncertainties using WC and FSVD techniques. Now, this figure shows the impact of packet drops on plant 1. With the gradual increment of the packet drop rate from 10% to 30%, the settling time increases from 3.831 seconds to 13.328 seconds, showing a gradual performance degradation. The system becomes completely unstable for a packet drop rate of 50%. This table shows the control performance of plant 2 under these 3 separate experiments. For all these experiments, similar performance is observed for plant 2. For example, the settling time achieved with our proposed scheme is 3.7 seconds, which is much smaller than the settling times obtained for the other 3 control techniques. In conclusion, I should say that in this work, we present a framework where high-performance controllers can be implemented over wireless multi-hop networks, mitigating the effect of large and variable delays. We also developed a hardware-software co-designed test bed for evaluating the proposed technique in real-world test cases. In the future, we can realize more real industrial examples based on the transmission capabilities of emerging wireless protocol, example 5G. Thank you.